Hi everyone, if you're new to the channel, my name's Dean. I just thought I'd come out today and talk about my saddle, my Brooks C17 saddle. My experience with cycling and why I feel like I'm qualified to talk about this is I started really heavily touring in 2019 and I've done some real extensive stuff, including riding across Canada. I like to do longer tours, several weeks in duration, and an average day for me would be right around 10 hours, give or take, right? So spend a lot of time in the saddle and have gone through a little bit of an evolution in finding the right saddle for me, so I thought I'd share that with you guys. I just came out today to Malden Park in Windsor, Ontario here. You can get a really good view up here of the new Gordie Howe Bridge being built over the Detroit River from Windsor, Ontario, Canada to over to Detroit, Michigan, US of A. So a really good shot of the Canadian sky, the Detroit skyline and the Windsor skyline as well. So thought I'd come out and chat about the saddle. So let's do it. All right, one thing I want to say before we really get into the review is, or just talking about the saddle, is that keep in mind, if you're new to cycling, please keep in mind that one thing to remember is that the saddle is the hardest piece of equipment to recommend to somebody. That's because our sit bones are all different. So that's the biggest factor in a saddle is your sit bones, how wide or how narrow they are. So to be able to fully 100% recommend a saddle to somebody is really, really difficult. But it's also good just to have the information on other people's experiences with it. To give you an example of my size, I'm not a very big guy. I am 5'6.5" ish. I weigh about 135 to 140 pounds depending, and I'm very small boned, so I'm just giving you these stats just so you know, to get a reference on my size. I'm just not a really big guy. If you're a really much bigger person than I am, then you could have a different experience with the saddle, so I just wanted to mention that. All right, so I'm going to put the specs up on the screen here too, but just to go through it real quickly with you. The length is 283 millimeters, or just over 11 inches. So not a super long saddle, but it is a little longer than if you're used to a mountain bike saddle, let's say that. So the width I'm using is on the C17 is 164 millimeters, or just under 6.5 inches. So the height of the saddle is 52 millimeters, or just under 2.5 inches. So yeah, one thing too to keep in mind, the rails are made out of steel, but they're powder coated, so that helps eliminate, or not eliminate, it helps kind of prevent any creaking you might have in an unpowder coated rail. As far as price goes, keep in mind that's going to vary depending on where you order it from, what part of the world you live in and all that. But in Canada, I've noticed that it goes anywhere from $160 to $180 Canadian. The material of this saddle is vulcanized rubber with a nylon coating on the top. So if you're into hockey, if you're Canadian, vulcanized rubber is what hockey pucks are made out of. So very durable, no maintenance whatsoever with it at all. If it gets rained on, it gets rained on. You just might want to wipe it off so your butt doesn't get wet. But yeah, very, very low maintenance to no maintenance at all. I've been riding mine for a couple years now, and it shows almost no signs of wear. As you can see, it holds up very well. So the nice thing about the C17, that the cutout, is the flexibility that the saddle has. That's kind of what I've noticed in my experience. That is what makes it comfortable, is that cutout in the saddle. Not only does it help relieve pressure in that area, it also gives the saddle a little bit of flex that you can feel when you're riding, and just adds a little comfort, especially when you get on some really chattery gravel roads. I find that really shines. A lot of times why people get saddle sores and a sore butt is because when you get on those bumpy roads, your butt, even though it seems like you're seated, it's bouncing around and it's creating pressure points, and that's where you're going to end up with a sore butt, or even worse, the dreaded saddle sores. After 2 years, I can honestly tell you that this is the most comfortable saddle that I've found for me. Yeah, I do still get a sore butt once in a while. It's going to happen, guys, when you're putting in 10 plus hours sometimes in the saddle. It's just, you're sitting on that muscle. It's going to get sore after a while. Everybody's different, like I've already mentioned. Some people just don't have tough butts, and other people can ride forever, no chamois, nothing, and no issues whatsoever. I'm kind of somewhere on the end of not having too many issues. I do wear a chamois in my shorts, but I don't have to ever wear any chamois butter or anything like that. I've never had any problems in that regard, so I'm pretty lucky that way. But like I said, saddles are really subjective, and there's also something to keep in mind. That bike needs to fit you properly, and you have to be positioned on the bike properly. So if that's not something you're experienced with, take advantage of your local bike shop. Go in. You don't have to be professionally done or anything. That's a definite bonus if you can have a professional bike fitting. Tend to be expensive, so it might not be for everybody. Just to mention, it's something that I think I'm going to do at my buddy Taylor's bike shop out in Amherstburg, Flow Bikes, in the future. So if I do, I'll definitely make a video. So if anybody's interested in what a professional bike fitting looks like, keep an eye out for that in the near future. But yeah, positioning is really important. You look at a saddle, you'll see the rails. There's a lot of adjustment back and forth. If anybody's wondering why mine is, just to mention real quick, why mine is slammed so far forward, it's just because, as I mentioned, I'm not tall. I'm right between a medium and a small. So I'm riding a medium. So in order for that bike to fit me properly, I have to keep the saddle forward. Ideally, you don't want to have it slammed one forward or backwards, but it's just what I have to do right now. So, but yeah, keep in mind there's a lot of room for adjustment. You can go move it back and forth on the rails. You can also work with the length of your stem to bring that forward and backwards to keep you in the right riding position. If you are getting a C17 carved saddle, the proper riding position is a slightly an upright position with a little bit of forward lean. If you like you see in the specs on their website, they will tell you what position these saddles are meant for, and you'll find out that they're very accurate. Like I said, when I had the C15, it was comfortable for a while, but after a while, because it's meant to be more for that leaned over position, my butt was getting sore. As soon as I switched to the C17, I could see the benefits of that all day. Being with the Jones bar especially, I should mention, if you're riding an alternative bar like a Jones bar where it is meant to be ridden in a more upright position, that's where the C17 or even the C19, if you're a bigger person, might be the best saddle for you. So just keep that in mind. Like I said, I'm by no means saying that this is going to be the best saddle for everybody, but I have a feeling that a lot of people are going to be impressed with this saddle. So I just wanted to mention that because it is a tough topic, and the saddle often keeps people from getting out on their bikes because they end up with such a sore butt. One thing I want to touch on real quick, going back to that professional bike fitting, even if you can't get a professional bike fitting, a really good thing to do is some bike shops have it's a seat you sit on to measure your sit bones. So that way at least you know how wide your sit bones are when you're sitting down. And that way now when you're looking at saddles, you can look, when you see their width, you can see which ones are going to be the best for you based on those stats. So I just wanted to mention that. All right, I don't think there's a lot more to talk about this saddle. Basically, is it comfortable? Yeah. Would I recommend it? 100%. It's definitely worth trying out. As far as price goes, it's not the most expensive saddle. It's also not the cheapest saddle. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. I already mentioned about the durability. It shows no signs of wear whatsoever after just over 2 years. I can spend all day in the saddle. Sometimes I do get a sore butt or I get a little bit of hamstring tightness, and that's just more to do with sloppy riding position when you get tired. I've been trying to really focus when I get tired on maintaining proper pedal position, all that stuff. So those are things to keep in mind. So hey, if you're looking for a good saddle, I definitely recommend trying out the C17. If you're a bigger person, the C19 might be the better way to go. If you're a smaller person, even smaller than me, then the C15 carved might be the way to go. I never tried out the C15 carved. That may have worked out for me being a smaller person. I've been thinking about trying out the C15 carved, but to be honest with you, it's just not worth it at this point. I can ride 100 kilometers plus in this saddle and be totally fine. So hey, why play with something that works? Okay, just to talk real quick about what the plans are for the last couple months of the year. I was really trying to see if I could come up with something really good to end out the year. I noticed that Matt Cady, the guy that developed the BT 700, the Hasty Highlander, as well as the Across Canada Off-Road Trail, has a route in Costa Rica that he developed, and I would really, really like to go do it. But it's just not in the cards financially. I do have some things I need to take care of, including getting my driver's license back again, which is a huge thing. So yeah, so My birthday is in a couple weeks on October 30th, so I think what I'm going to do as a treat to myself for my birthday is I'm going to ride out to Point Pelee National Park and just have an overnighter, stay in the Authentics, don't have to bring my tent or any of that stuff. So that's going to be my treat to myself on my 55th birthday, so that's what I'm going to do. And if anything changes financially and I can put something together, like go to Costa Rica or head to my sister's at Christmas time in Southern California, then maybe I'll make that happen. But the year 2025 is all about the Great Divide mountain bike route. So going forward in 2025, I'm going to have to be really careful with what I spend. We are going to do the BT 700 again this year in June. But outside of that, there's not going to be a lot of there's going to be probably no other big trips because all my finances have to go towards the Great Divide mountain bike route. So really looking forward to that. As far as my mental health guys goes, been an up and down little bit of time this summer. It's just been a struggle. It's getting better though. The recognition that there is a problem was the first step, the first big step I took. Now learning how to manage it is just going to be a process, right? So to anybody that has reached out, commented, everybody, I just want to say thank you. Really love you guys and really appreciate you guys. To my channel members, I just want to say thanks guys. There's 8 of you now and it really means so much more than you could ever know. To my new channel member Chuck, welcome aboard buddy. Welcome to the Wandering Eyes family, and to everybody else that's been aboard, really appreciate you guys. And as this grows, I'm hoping I can do some really cool stuff for the channel members. Just right now financially I can't do it on my own, but as this grows, I'm hoping we can do some meetups and stuff like that, or gear giveaways and stuff. So just keep in mind, as this membership grows, so will what I can do with it. So thanks guys for being a part of it, and hopefully I'm really hoping for some big things from the channel memberships in the future. So all right, so I'm going to wrap it up from here, and the next time you'll see me well, aside from the Hasty Highlander videos, which by the way, thanks everybody for watching, but aside from those videos, the next time you'll probably see me or will see me will be from a Point Pelee overnighter. So keep an eye out for that. But aside from that guys, I hope you're getting out there and doing something you love, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.